Australia is looking for Indians, and no, this is not a clickbait. So if you are an Indian national thinking of Australia, you've landed on the right video. Stick around. Hello, namaste. My name is Nidhi Nagori and welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time stopping by, well then hello. I hope you'll subscribe for more such informative content. If you are a regular viewer, then it's so nice to see you back here. Today we're discussing a country that I was this close to moving to, Australia. Way back in 2017, when I knew I wanted to leave the United States, I was researching on all the countries that I could potentially move to, which is also why it's been one of my most favorite countries to cover on my channel. Today's video is going to be divided into 4 segments. First, we'll talk about why these treaties are being executed. Next, we'll talk about what are the in-demand occupations. Then we'll talk about how India and Australia are becoming BFFs. And then last, how can you accelerate your job search in Australia? So let's talk about part number 1. Why is Australia executing these special agreements? It's not just India, it's also a lot of other countries like UK, Canada, Indonesia, Singapore, etc. So why is this happening? Every country quarterly runs a labor census. They do this to make sure that they are running data on unemployment and labor shortages. And in the last 2 years, every time that Australia did their quarterly census on the labor, they realized that labor shortage was more than 300,000. This is the official government stats. More than 300,000 people were missing from the workforce.
Given these insane shortages, Australia is an amazing destination for anybody looking to move abroad, whether you are an Indian national or not. And that is exactly why we are doing our Globalogy Australia Masterclass on April 20th. We have 4 mentors joining us straight from Australia, some who moved on a work visa, some who moved on PR, and some who moved as a student. So you'll have a wide variety of experience to learn from, and they'll tell you exactly what it takes to build a career in Australia. And what if you're unable to join us live or you want to revisit the session? Well, you have access to unlimited watch time of the recording for 3 months from sign up. I'll leave all the info in the description box along with the pinned comment, so do check it out.
Now, during the pandemic, Australia did not have an option of getting foreign workers from outside because they were one of the very few countries who'd shut their borders. So once the borders opened up, the government was accelerating this influx of foreign nationals. And how could they do that? One is obviously through PR, which I think Australia has been very free in giving in the last 2 years. But the second one was executing these special treaties where they could get people from countries that they wanted to come in from. India just happens to be one of those countries, but India is the country which has actually gotten one of the most favorable agreements. It has the most number of spots. It has an exciting working holiday program. So it has a lot that Australia has given to them to come to this agreement. This agreement was actually first discussed in 2022. It was supposed to launch in Jan of 2024. They made some amendments to it and decided to launch it by the end of 2024. So it'll be up for application by the end of 2024. And that's a nice segue into part number 2, which is talking about this agreement. Australia and India literally becoming BFFs. So I'm going to take you through, let's get on to my screen record. And I have the info pulled up from Andrew Giles, who is the Minister for Immigration, Citizenship and Multicultural Affairs. You can see that this was posted on Feb 9th, 2024. Australia and India become closer mates under the new mobility agreement. And this is MATES, it's just a short form for Mobility Arrangement for Talented Early Professional Scheme. It will be open for application from late 2024. What will MATES do? So it will give Indian university graduates and early career professionals. They haven't defined it, but basically if you're a fresh grad or if you're literally starting off your career, so it's not for somebody who has like 20 years of experience, but again, they've not given us the definition, so we don't know. We just know that it's freshers or early career professionals. They'll have the opportunity to live and work in Australia for up to 2 years, and they can work in their area of expertise. This will also benefit Australian industry sectors and businesses by enhancing their access to some of India's most talented graduates. So initially, they're going to run this pilot with some eligible fields. So initially this will include renewable energy, mining, engineering, IT, AI, financial and technology, so fintech and agricultural technology. So these are going to be the 7 fields that this program will cover. And it was co-signed in 2023. It will commence as a pilot with 3,000 spots for primary applicants per year. So every year Indians are going to get 3,000 spots for this program if you are from any of the eligible fields. Now, if you want to know more about this program, you can just go ahead and look this one up. This gives you all the more info. Basically, you need to be below 30 years at the time of application. You must not have participated in MATES. Obviously, no one can. This is a new program. You must have IELTS. You need IELTS of at least 6. And then minimum of 5 in each of the 4 parts. You must have graduated within 2 years and you can have a bachelor's or higher. So you could have a bachelor's or a master's. Now, if you're a master's student, it must have been 2 years from your graduation. It doesn't matter how long it's been since you last worked, but it should be 2 years from your graduation. And these are the eligible fields. As you can see, there will be no requirement of sponsorship by an Australian employer to be eligible for mates. You can scroll through and read everything else, but that's pretty much it. Now let's talk about part number 3. What are the in-demand occupations in Australia? What if you are somebody who is not an Indian national, or what if you are an Indian national but you're not eligible for mates? Is Australia a closed door for you? Well, not really. If you watched one of my previous videos on Australia, you know that they are launching 4 new work visas this year. The government has also gone on record and said that they want to lower student visas and increase work visas, similar to what Canada is doing. If you haven't watched that video, please make sure you do. I'm going to go ahead and link it up somewhere in the eye here so that you can go and watch this video. Of course, finish this video first and then go to that one. But I have covered all the new visas that are coming in this year. Very exciting time, honestly, because there are 4 new work visas along with this mates visa. So 5 total visas if you're an Indian national below 30, and 4 visas if you're not an Indian national. But in general, a common theme underlying all the new visas that's coming in is if you are working in a shortage occupation, then there are more chances, the requirements are much lower for you to get any work visa. And for that, I'm back to my government data. We're going to discuss what's the 20 occupations that are in demand according to the government of Australia. So I'm back here. You can see this is by Ministers of the Employment and Workforce Relations portfolio. This was released on 5th March 2023. I'm hoping they're going to release one very soon. But you can see that a new quarterly report from the JSA, which is new data, has come up on the top 20 occupations in demand nationally. Let's scroll down until we find it. So here are the fields. Just keep in mind this is only for 1 quarter. This doesn't change a lot, and I can tell you that a lot of these are just shortages across the world. So every country sort of sees similar trends. So it's not very different. That also gives you the comfort that the data is correct. So first is registered nurses, then the software and applications programmers, then aged and disabled carers, child carers, construction managers, motor mechanics, retail managers, chefs, generalist medical practitioners, so like family doctors, metal fitters and machinists, IT folks and system analysts, civil engineering, electricians, early childhood teachers, contract, program and project admins, advertising and marketing professionals, physiotherapists, gardeners, mining engineers, and database and systems administrators and ICT security specialists. What was also interesting about that research was that for the first time, we saw that auditors, company secretaries, corporate treasurers, and cooks are no longer in top 20. They're still in high demand, but obviously they're not in top 20. This is the first time that I've seen marketing crossing finance. Generally, in any country, I see finance is in top, at least it's definitely above marketing. But Australia surprisingly has a need for more marketing and advertising professionals as opposed to finance professionals. So that I will give is different about Australia. Now, if you are from any of these fields, obviously your chances of getting a job is higher. Also, the requirements for a work visa is much lower. That does not mean that if you're not from these fields, you cannot get a job. It's just that the requirements are, there is a standard benchmark. And for shortage occupations, the requirements are lower. So that's the only difference. So as long as you meet the standard benchmark, if you're not in a shortage occupation, you still qualify to get a work visa. Which brings me to segment 3 of this video. How do you go about looking for jobs? So I'm going to recommend 2 websites to you. One of them is my absolute favorite, and I think one is just oversold on the internet, but it's still good. The first one is Workforce Australia. This is a website that's run by the government of Australia. Now let's look at this website. This currently has 272 jobs, so quite a lot. I mean, we all need just one. And a lot of other things as well, but don't get confused by all the info. This is not one of the best websites, to be honest. I just like it for job search. So let's go ahead and look at the roles that are right now open. Now you can see all the positions that are open, and you can see like developer, software tester, aluminum vendor. You can look for, vacancy type, you can look for work type, full-time, salary, range, all of it. If you want to refine your search even further, you can type the word sponsorship in. Literally every job that's here is open to foreigner because that's a requirement, but I'll just still go ahead and do it. You can see like hairdresser, registered nurse, miners, food and beverage supervisor, midwife, events, quite a few opportunities that are available. Breakfast chef, ooh, that's interesting. I would totally like to do that. Network planner, let's look at this one. Permanent full-time position. We are open to offering Australian sponsorship to international candidates with relevant experience. And this is from Virgin Australia. That's pretty cool. There's a lot of other info. Where is this role located? Salary not specified. When does it close? All of that. So I think it's pretty interesting. Like you can look through all the other vacancies. If you just put sponsorship, you still get to about 820 vacancies. Again, we literally need just one for all of us. Now, if you decide to go without that, then I definitely think that you should just consider this whole thing? Well, it was 272 a couple of minutes ago. While just shooting this video, it bumped up to 308. You can see it's like 272 and 308. It's a lot of vacancies being posted real time as well. That tells you that there's a lot of requirement. The other website that we end up using it sometimes for our clients as well is Seek. Seek is big in both New Zealand and Australia. Quite a few opportunities here as well. Let's try and put sponsorship. Again, I don't like it above and beyond the Australian workforce, but not bad. There are about 6244 jobs, so that's quite interesting, like electronics engineer, intermediate accounting, hairdresser, senior developer, boiler makers. Actually, quite a few opportunities available even from here. So that's pretty interesting. Of course, these are just few of the thousands of options that are available for looking a job in Australia. Highly recommend you check these portals out. You also read through Mates and you read through the in-demand occupations and then see how you can make your headway into the beautiful country. And on that note, this video has come to an end. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you did, then please let me know in the comments below what your thoughts are about Australia. Are you going to try any of these? Are there any other countries that you want me to cover on my channel? Always reading through your comments and then deciding my content. So it always helps me in content planning. Just need to know what you are looking for. I promise to see you in the next video. Until then, you take care of yourself. Stay safe. Namaste.